Alright, so let's watch some Internet Anarchist. He always has some really cool and some really interesting like YouTuber drama. So this is about ImAllexx. I vaguely know this name, but I don't, so I'm wondering exactly what this guy did to fuck himself over.
YouTuber ImAllexx is facing one of the worst downfalls in YouTube history, with his channels losing over 160,000 subscribers within just 2 weeks. This comes after his ex-girlfriend, Alice Hez, published extensive evidence of mistreatment, abuse, and harassment she received over the course of their relationship. This has exposed the side of him that he kept.
Oh, I actually think I vaguely heard about this. I'm gonna let it play through though, but I think I vaguely
hidden
remember
from his
hearing
fan
about
base.
this. Blake, you met this guy? You met ImAllexx? Or are you talking about Whistling Diesel?
Which is ironic considering his entire career is based around creating expose content on other YouTubers and internet personalities. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be looking into the disturbing downfall of Alex Elmsley, also known as ImAllexx. On the 15th of June 2024, Alice made a post on Twitter stating, "Here's my statement on the situation."
Oh, this only came out last month, this statement. He said 2024, right? I heard that correctly? So she only did this last month.
I've been scared to speak out on. It's best it was made public how horrible this person with a platform is. I would hate to see another woman go through this. This post also included a Google Drive link, which contains a number of audio and video files featuring Alex. Alongside that, it also contained an 80+ page long document with dozens of statements detailing the abuse Alice endured, alongside the screenshots and pictures to prove these allegations.
Wow, the last time I heard about someone writing a manifesto like this was like, I think when the whole shit went down with Channel Awesome, and one of them wrote like a manifesto about this or something. And thank you for the follow, please. Yes? 6, I'm not sure. I'm drawing a blank, honestly. 6, I'm drawing a complete blank. I'm not sure. Well, and here's the thing, Lurker. This is a manifesto from the victim, from his girlfriend. So, either she's got a buttload of evidence, or she's rambling.
The document
crazy.
opens up with a trigger warning for sexual assault, suicide, depression, and assault. Following this, the first major accusation against Alex is that he tried to blackmail Alice into staying quiet about the whole situation. In her words, "I've been threatened by Alex to not come out with anything at all and to keep quiet, or he'll create a contradicting story to discredit my own. But I'm not scared anymore." And as we'll see later, this accusation is disturbingly close to the truth.
That's not blackmail. That's just flat out threatening. That's not blackmail. Blackmail is when you have something legit to hold over someone's head and say, do this or I will do this. This is just flat out threat, so a little bit of problem with the verbiage. 6, post it into the suggestions and I'll take a look and see if I remember it.
Truth. Alice also mentioned how she officially began dating Alex in March of last year, and later revealed that they broke up in December of 2023, so the relationship only lasted about 9 months in total. Now, that's just 9 months, but with the sheer number and severity of the accusations in this document, it almost makes it unbelievable that it all went down in less than a year. That being said, the first issue Alice faced was Alex's constant need for attention. He expected her to be available for Discord calls 24/7, and She states, Alex felt that because I'm home all day and work from home, that I would be able to call 24/7 and to completely shut out any other social interactions I have with my friends. And when she couldn't join a call because she was busy elsewhere, like with friends or family, Alex would emotionally blackmail her, saying things like, guess everyone has got something better to do, or no one wants me. Either that or he would get angry and start dishing out a barrage of insults. Idiot, you text like a retard, so call me. You're stupid. And if Alice tried to
Well, great boyfriend material here. Great boyfriend material. Holy shit. Oh, and I think I heard something about someone ranting about donut operator being that. I think I vaguely heard something about that. We're watching the internet anarchist talking about ImAllexx going fucking psycho and losing his audience, which is, I guess this is just the tip of the iceberg. Like, how she stayed
apologize
with him,
and calm things down, he'd stay heated and go as far as telling her to off and calling her a cunt. She further explains, after screaming at me in calls and disregarding everything I've ever said, he would explain how it's always my fault and that I should apologize, that I should fix it and fight for him after he's made it worse by completely dehumanizing and degrading me. What's extremely disturbing is Alice didn't use the term dehumanizing here as a metaphor.
Now, when it's too fucking late, you admit that you did everything fucking wrong. But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good fucking dog.
During this time, Alice also
Holy fuck! Holy shit, what the, like, I'm guessing that's his girlfriend right there. He's doing this to her on is this like, okay, it's not a Discord call. What the actual fuck? I'm holding my tongue because I'm waiting to see because I know there's gonna be more, but I already have an opinion here. Yeah, the fact that she stayed with him after this is shocking. Or let me rephrase. It should be shocking. But I've heard about enough domestic abuse cases where unfortunately and heartbreakingly, it's not shocking that she didn't immediately break up with him.
Found out that not only was Alex keeping touch with several of his exes despite promising he wouldn't, she also discovered that he was even stalking one of his previous girlfriends and still had her explicit images on his phone.
Yeah.
However, this was only the previous girlfriends and still had her explicit images on his.
Is that alcohol or a bottle of water in his hand? That looks like alcohol. That looks like alcohol. So is he fucking drunk right now? Is he like an alcoholic as well? Okay, maybe this will be discussed.
However, this was only the start of Alex's twisted behavior towards Alice. In July, the two of them went on a holiday to Italy. However, what should have been an opportunity for the two of them to finally make up got ruined when, according to Alice, Alex started watching a video about, quote, a girl being hyper after trauma, unquote, which is a terribly disturbing notion on so many different levels. So, when Alice noticed the contents of this video, she opened up to Alex about her own past essay-related trauma. However, instead of consoling her or understanding her struggles, Alex told her that he, quote, doesn't want to know what has been done to her by other guys, unquote. He also got angry and threatened to leave.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, Corey, and that's it. You're exactly right. It's emotional manipulation. So when it's low, there's more lows than highs, but because the lows are so frequent, the highs trick you into thinking this is so good. So it's sort of like not quite a Pavlovian response, but it's like a conditioning. You're getting conditioning where if you're treated low all the time, when you get that high, it feels much higher than it actually is. So it's the whole concept of, treating someone like absolute garbage. And I mean like worse than what he's doing. I'm talking about like, prisoners back in the medieval era where they were treated like absolute garbage. And then when they got like a single decent piece of bread, they treated it like it was fucking ambrosia and thought it was great. It's like that type of conditioning with these relationships. So it's they think when they get these highs, they think, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. This person's actually changing. So yeah, that's what
leave
I think we're
Alice on
looking
her
at.
own in a foreign country with no way of getting back home, and even blamed her for ruining the trip.
Wait, and abandon her in Italy? Holy shit. He fucking abandoned her in Italy with no way for her to get home. Oh my dear God. Yeah, I mean, this is like psychological torture that he's doing right now.
After
This
coming
is
back and
fucked up.
saying things like, bringing up weird shit on our first holiday, you ruined every moment, as well as, I have no fond memories with you. However, things got even worse for Alice when she
Here's my question. Why is he still with her? Why is he still with her? Unless he's a sadist and he enjoys inflicting psychological damage on people, which is what I expect is the case. He is an emotional sadist. Hi, Matthias. And yeah, he definitely gives. Yes, Corey, he definitely gives men a
asked
bad name.
Alex for advice
But he's not controlling her and the pain world. He's like doing nothing but inflicting pain. That's all he's doing. So he's enjoying inflicting it. Matthias been watching Internet Anarchist about ImAllexx, who apparently is a fucking sociopath and treated and abused his girlfriend for quite a while, though, at the very
about
least
getting into Twitch
psychologically.
streaming and expanding her online career. Instead of helping her in any meaningful way, Alex just resorted to belittling her for trying. You're like everyone else, stupid idiots who think they know better than the only man who has done it all successfully. As well as, it's easy to sit there like everyone else and cry about it when you're a jobless freak. Imagine trying to teach retards like you and my mates how to do this. And keep yourself. I just told you how to make 6 figures, so fuck off. It would even call Alice a quote dumb.
That's all. Hang on, guys. My kitty's throwing up. Hang on a second. Sorry about that, guys. My cat just threw up all over her cat tree. I had to really quick clean it up. What did I miss? Matthias, this looks like sick because it looks like she just ate a bunch of kibble and threw that all up. So I think she's okay. It's not the first time she's thrown up, but I had to clean it up real quick because it was on her cat tree, and that's like fabric, not hardwood floor. So yeah, had to get that cleaned up. He's okay. I think she's okay. But I'm trying to get her in to see the vet anyways, to get her checked out, to get a checkup for her, and to get her checked out for her behavior lately. Yeah, exactly, Lurker. It's the cat tree can't exactly go in the washing machine. But I got the spray stuff to clean up her messes that she's been making like on my couch, so hopefully that will help with it. Anyway, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit because
Just
I'm not
told you
sure
how
what
to
I
make
missed
6
here.
figures, so fuck off. It would even call Alice a quote dumb multiple times during this argument. And while this is awful, Alex
Right.
managed to take things
Wait, I want to see the rest of that. Let's see. I'm going anyway, so come with me. Yes, I don't care. You're a shit girlfriend. Genuinely bad at it. Emotional level of a fucking brick. With the literacy of a child. It's like talking. What the actual fuck? Like, seriously, what the actual fuck? I mean, even if she did not print that manifesto, these screenshots are plenty. Fucking plenty at this point. Holy shit.
Times during this argument. And while this is awful, Alex managed to take things even further into the realm of depravity. For some context, many years ago, Alex posted a video in which he criticized Hannah Mojo's use.
Okay, let's be honest here, chat. He looks like a sociopath. Like, he seriously looks like a sociopath. With the emo hairstyle and the I'm desperately trying to grow a mustache fuzz above his upper lip. He doesn't look like a stable individual in the first place. Well, Shadowclaw, I think that, like, women, this is a hypothesis. Well, it wasn't just the hair lurker. The hair was a part of the package. But Shadowclaw, a hypothesis I have is that women are drawn to the dark bad boy characteristics because it's been made popular in TV and trashy romance novels. And I think, over decades, this is over the course of decades. So, because those TV shows and those novels have the happy ending where the bad boy comes around and the two love each other, the thought process is that's how it works in real life, and it doesn't work that way in real life. But it's still perpetuated in fiction. This kind of thought process is still perpetuated in fiction to this day. And that's why women go after the quote-unquote bad boys. Either that or the girls themselves are shallow as fuck and just want to use them for, a night of wild fucking. And that's all they want. They're just as shallow as the guys and just want, just they want the guy to blow their back out or something. It literally could be just as shallow as that. Yeah, the bad boy in real life doesn't work because the bad boy is not actually respected in real life. The bad boy is the one that any business is going to say, we don't want to deal with you. You're not going to get you're not going to have meaningful employment. You're, you know, you're only going to be in places that are dirty and not exactly known for stellar clientele. And women, by and large, like they'll be happy to spend like a single night in bed with you, but that's it. The minute a woman actually gets to experience the bad boy in real life, they immediately go, "Oh, this was a mistake." Yeah. Well, I mean, Eki, that's a whole different thing. And it's not all women. It's, it is in the kind like social zeitgeist, but it is not all women. For sure. 100% for sure it is not. And you're right, Matthias. Like, dating has become awful. I think that's why a lot of young people, I think there was a study done recently that dating and relationships in younger people has significantly declined over the years because no one wants to deal with the bullshit anymore. No one wants to deal with this anymore. They've done it already. And at this point, it's because all of the social standards have become so skewed it's just like everything these days, it's become extremes. And no one wants to deal with that bullshit. No one wants to deal with those extremes, especially young people. And that's why a lot of women are like, no, I don't need men. That's why a lot of men are saying, no, I don't need women. That's where all the jokes about the homies are better than the girlfriend comes from. Is because they're treated is that, in these like memes, men are treated better by their male friends than they are by the girl who supposedly really likes or even loves him. And unfortunately, it is a meme that is rooted in logic and fact. And that's why we're seeing a severe decline in relationships, in young people involving themselves in relationships. They don't want that anymore. Now, are the number of one night stands going up? Certainly possible. I haven't seen any studies on it, but I'd say that's absolutely possible. But the number of relationships is going down. Because because social relationships in general have gotten so complex and batshit crazy. It makes, effectively speaking, people that have autism kind of are ahead of the game on this one, being socially awkward. Like they were kind of they're kind of ahead of the curve here by saying like I'm, not wanting to really engage in, you know, large social activities. I just want to kind of be by myself and do my own thing. Not by their own choice, of course. They have, they have they have a disorder that they have no control over. They're kind of ahead of the curve in this respect compared to what we're seeing. We're seeing neurotypical people kind of following in the footsteps of those with autism when it comes to social interactions. They're kind of avoiding them, or they're really simplifying them because people want simple now. They don't want all the complex bullshit with all the pronouns and the past life stuff, and everybody's got this history that is so traumatic, even if it may or may not be. It's like people want simple. We've gotten too complex. So it's just dating in modern society has gotten way too fucking complex with a pitfall literally with every step, and people are saying I'm done. And I don't blame them one bit for it. Not one bit. I have not been in a relationship in years. And I will be flat out honest with you. I am not eager to get back into one. I am not actively looking to get into a relationship at all. Because I have absolutely zero desire for one. I don't have any desire to be in a relationship. It has no draw for me. I am far happier being by myself or being with you guys here in chat. No lurker. Fuck's sake. Wow, Eki, you asked a girl if she would basically carry her own weight on her side of the relationship and she said no? She is one of those entitled little bitches that we see on TikTok, and you dodged a bullet. You did. Yeah. Okay. We just went on a huge tangent, which is fine. I love going out on the tangents. Let's get back to the video, though. Hey, let's try and refocus back on
Of a
target.
racial slur by saying the N-word out loud himself. He later apologized for this and admitted that it was a dumb thing to do.
I deleted that video because I don't stand by that video, and that video was and there's no excuses for that video that I made.
Most bought this apology as genuine, with comments reading, "As a black person, I think he was genuinely sorry in his apology. You could tell he was ashamed. That doesn't excuse the fact he said it at all, but from the look..."
Okay, now, okay, here's the thing. I don't know ImAllexx, so if someone is familiar with what happened in that situation, please give me some context. Was he using it as a racial slur? Or was he using it in the context like every black person does, where they use it as a word of familiarity? Because I don't know. I'm hoping one of you guys may have some context here. Because honestly, in my mind, simply saying the word is not enough to basically have the finger stab at you saying, "You're a piece of shit. How dare you even utter that word?" No, that doesn't fly. Now, if he used it in a racist context, totally different story. But no, Baby G. Well, I don't even know what he does, Baby G. Sonley, but he is a sociopath who has psychologically abused his girlfriend. So him simply saying the word, that in and of itself is not something that anybody should get enraged about. Hi, Bunthulu. Becky, I'm gonna slightly disagree because we've talked about this before. You are only giving the word a negative power if you provide that negativity to it. And think about it. In the black community, particularly in like the ghetto, that word is used like a comma. It is used like a fucking comma in the hood. But the second someone not black uses the word in the same context, bearing in mind here, context is key. If, say, a white person uses that word in the same context, they are immediately labeled a racist, which is insane. It's insane that simply using that word in the same context as a black person would in a conversational manner, not a racist manner, and you're gonna call them racist? That is hypocritical as fuck. That is 100% hypocrisy, and it's bullshit. And treating this word like it's racist only if someone else says it, that is wanting your cake and eating it too. So yes, I agree. Either it's a racist word and should never be uttered by anyone ever again, or if it is not used in a racist context, shut the fuck up. If it's not being used in a racist context, you need to shut your fucking mouth and stop virtue signaling and being a perpetual victim. Simple as that. It is literally as simple as that. Because you hear all sorts of other words being thrown about that are supposed to be offensive, yet they're not. People can say a lot of words that are considered offensive with impunity. This singular word, and the reason why I'm not saying it is because I don't like saying it in any context. I do not like saying this word in any context, be it obviously not racist context, but even in a conversational context, I don't like saying this word, hence why I don't say it. So I don't say it at all. But you can't have it both ways. That doesn't work like it. Having it both ways, in and of itself, is racist. I don't know if anybody is. I have to imagine someone has said this before. And if they haven't, I will be fucking shocked. But using for one community to say, we can say the N-word, but no one else can, and if you do, we consider it racist, that in and of itself is racist. Full stop. If you cannot accept that, sorry for you. Welcome to reality. That's it. A lot of people are probably going to very much not agree with my position, but you have to look at this logically. You have to look at this logically. And this is how it works logically. Baby Jesus, it's possible. Like I said, I would be really shocked if I'm the first one to present the argument in this way. I have to imagine others have before. I have not heard them though. This is just, this is just me thinking. So, and again, I'm off on another fucking tangent, but you know what? Tangents can be interesting. And Epstein, thank you for the follow. Welcome. All right. Let us get back to the video. And I'm guessing something else will crop up and I'll go off on another tangent, but you guys don't mind, right? You guys don't mind me going off on a tangent, do you? Thank you, Epstein.
Robot Wizard 36 gifted 5 subscriptions to the community.
Thank you, Robot. You're a bit late in the welcome, aren't you? You got here, what, an hour ago? Hey, thank you, Robot. I really appreciate it. And if you just got a gifted sub from Robot, please make sure you say thank you, okay? Alright, let's get
Of
back.
things, it's clear that his use of the N-word wasn't a dumb mistake, but rather a deliberate choice. This is because Alex seems to have no issues about using the N-word as an insult to his girlfriend. If you're already disgusted by Alex's emotion,
Hang on. He's using it in the same context like they use in the ghetto. Again, I don't like this guy. I think he's a piece of shit based on what I've been seeing so far. I have no objection to this because I don't think that's racist. And oh god, what's Radical Rack? Welcome. Thank you. This is the same context as what's used in the ghetto in a familiar form. I see no problem with this. None whatsoever. Because obviously she's not black. So, yeah. Context 100% matters. 100%. And, yeah, there it is. I don't see a problem with this because it's being used in the same way. He's not calling her a racial slur. Now, granted, I don't like it being used anyway, even in a non-racial sense like this. But it's not racist. And he shouldn't be slapped because he used it in this context. At this point, yeah. Epson, I do have ads. I'm sorry about that. I have started running ads. Don't worry, they should go away soon.
If you're already disgusted by Alex's emotional manipulation, gaslighting, and condescension, it gets even worse, because these usual insults quickly escalated into threats of physical violence, with Alex telling Alice to, quote, die in a f***ing hole and
It's not a threat of physical violence, that's just him being an asshole.
yourself. And
But okay. Again, not a threat of violence. That's him being an asshole and basically, again, psychologically torturing her. What announcement about ads, baby Jeebus? Yeah, I talked about that Friday. I talked about that I was gonna start running ads on Friday.
even directly threatening her by saying things like, I'm going to f***ing kill you, and I'm going to.
Now that is a threat of violence. Like that and that is that especially. This one, people say I'm gonna fucking kill you all the time. This one, I'm going to break your neck. There you go. That's a threat of violence. That is absolutely a threat of violence.
To
Yes.
break your neck. Ellis also managed to record one of these horrible threats he made during a video call.
Acting like
I
this
didn't-
is
I didn't
all
mean
just
it.
me, and that's something you really need to fucking fix.
I'm gonna fucking bash your fucking head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the fuck up.
That's the clip I remember. That is the clip I remember. This guy's a fucking psycho. Yeah, that is a threat. That is 100% a threat. Oh yeah. Like, again, you could ascribe it to a victim of domestic violence. Why she stayed with him and why she did not report him to the police. That's what I'm going to describe it to, is that mentality that unfortunately so many victims of domestic violence have when it comes to their partners. I'm hoping that if they are broken up now, I don't know if they mentioned at the beginning of the video if they broke up. I'm hoping that she moves forward with charges against him, if possible, because that threat right there, uh-uh. Not
After
gonna happen.
putting up with these threats and constant abuse for a bit over 9 months, Ellis finally decided that enough was enough and broke up with ImAllexx on the 28th of December 2023. She did
Good. 1 day later, call the police. 1 day later, call the police. Say, he has made threats to me on multiple occasions and arrest him. Because I'm reasonably sure they're both in the UK. And I'm reasonably sure, not 100%, for those in chat that are in the UK, please correct me if I am mistaken about this in terms of the law. But I'm reasonably sure that making a threat of violence, especially when you make a specific threat like that, you can be arrested for whatever terminology would best be conflated with essentially domestic assault in North America. I am reasonably sure she could have him arrested for domestic assault.
detailed the events leading
yeah.
up to this breakup in the document she shared with everyone on Twitter. According to her statements, on the day of the breakup, ImAllexx asked if he could help with any house chores. She told him to clean the sides of the kitchen cabinets and take out the bins, but instead of doing the tasks he asked for, he started screaming at her for giving him more than one task and telling her that he couldn't handle more than one at a time. And as Ellis tried to walk away to avoid any further escalation, ImAllexx crossed a major line. He allegedly became physically violent. According to the document in Ellis's Google Drive, ImAllexx kicked her in the back, nearly making her fall to the ground. At this point, Ellis was scared out of her mind and was panicking. She was afraid that ImAllexx would hit her again, so she started recording on her phone just in case. All the while, ImAllexx began following her around, insulting her further and trying to incite another argument. During his rambling,
Okay, I have one problem with this, and I'm not, like, faulting her, I'm not blaming her as a victim, but I really, really, really dislike the fact that when someone is in trouble, their first reaction is to start recording on their phone instead of hitting 911 or your country's equivalent of that and getting the fucking police over there. If you are scared for your person's safety, put the fucking camera away and call the police. Like, forget about documenting evidence or whatever excuse you're gonna come up with. First and foremost, get someone on the way to make sure that you do not get killed. Yeah, Mia, we're talking about ImAllexx, how he lost his audience in 5 days because he has been psychologically and now physically abusing his girlfriend. So that's what we're talking about. I'm not blaming her for anything. bear in mind, I'm not casting any blame upon her. This has almost become a conditioned response that when shit starts going down, the first reaction is, let's whip out the phone and start taking pictures or start shooting video. And that's a horrible conditioned response. But she's not the only one that does it. So many people do it. And it needs to stop, honestly. Forget about the fucking camera. Get help. That should be the first thing
He
on your
also
mind.
says that he's the one who pays for everything, so what Alice has to say doesn't matter one bit. After Alice left, he also began threatening to throw her remaining stuff out, including her PC setup worth over £4,000. She quickly returned to take it back, but it was too late. Her setup was on the floor in pieces, the keyboard was broken and scattered everywhere, and both her monitor screens were also smashed to bits.
Again, something he could be arrested for. Alex is some kind of streamer who's an absolute piece of shit that physically and psychologically abused his girlfriend. And when they broke up, he just smashed part of her £4,000 computer setup. Again, something else that he could be arrested for. Destruction of property. Because it wasn't his.
From what we've seen so far, there's plenty of evidence to show just how abusive Alex had been towards Alice since the very beginning of their relationship. Yet something completely surprising happened after the breakup. Put simply, Alex suddenly turned into a new man, or at least that's what he began saying, stating that he, quote,
20s,
wants
yeah.
to make stuff better, and that he, quote, wants everything to be normal again. Wants everything to be normal again, that he, quote, wants to make stuff better, and turned into a new man, or at least that's what he began saying, stating that he...
Okay, I know you didn't mean it, but it really puts me down. It's no excuse for how I acted. He's blaming her. It's no excuse for how I acted, though, and I apologize for that. I just want to spend time with you so I can make stuff better. Here to apologize again. I'm sorry. Are you up? I'm upset and I miss you and I want everything to be normal. Dude, normal was him abusing her. I will do everything I can to get you back starting today. But up here, he was blaming her. At least it feels like that. Yeah, and this is typical abuser behavior. They push and push and push until the other party says, I'm out. And leaves, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm sorry, baby. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change for you. I'm gonna be better. And it goes right back to it again.
He, quote, wants to make stuff better, and that he, quote, wants everything to be normal again. By this point, Alice wanted nothing to do with him, so she began ignoring him completely and even blocked his number, which is a clear indicator that she did not want to discuss anything with him. However, Alex kept messaging her on different social platforms, including anything with him. However,
I want to see these. Christ, I could barely read this. We're even, like, hey, let me take a second here, please, if I can. Like, I abused you like you did me. Take that back. Imagine why. Okay, she's saying that he's claiming she abused him, like he abused her. It looks like that's what she's saying. Fuck. I didn't mean it like that. Oh my god. Say goodbye proper me. I can move on unless we well. So why? I've completely cut you off if we call. I can completely cut you off if we call. He's trying to suck her back in. See, here's the thing. She should not even be responding to him. She should be blocking all of his numbers. Shadow, domestic abuse. I will say you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and it is incredibly unfortunate. In domestic abuse cases where the woman is the aggressor in the case, you are unfortunately very correct. You need to be able to prove that you are the victim, because many of the police and the courts will side with the woman before they'll side with the man unless proof is presented. It is, unfortunately, a horrible truth. But it is a truth. And it sucks on every level. Are we seeing a change in that? I'm not sure. I try to keep my sanity and not look at a lot of domestic abuse cases. I would like to think so, but I don't know. That's what I mean, Echo. That's what I mean. That's why I was agreeing with what Shadow was saying, is that a lot of times when the woman is the abuser, the man is not believed and they automatically assume that the woman is the victim. Yeah, it's we could spin off into a whole discussion about how the the justice system writ large is very skewed. Is very skewed in one fashion or another depending upon the crime of the situation. And that's where change needs to happen. But unfortunately, we are dealing with very deeply rooted beliefs across the board. Like this is a case of institutional belief. And it's there's no hi Telos. There is no simple solution for it. If I knew a solution for this, I would be a very rich anime cat girl right now. If I knew a solution to this. I don't. But I can recognize that the problem exists. I can recognize it and I can try and make sure that I don't fall into the trap in my own life. Shadow, I don't even know what the fuck the Duluth model is. If it's what I think, if the Duluth model is basically always assume the woman is the victim and the man is the offender, yes, get rid of the Duluth model, if that's what it is. I know for a lot of police officers that a lot of police officers kind of go into a situation, a lot of them think that way. I don't know what the solution is. I really don't. I wish I did. The only thing we can do as individuals is realize what the facts are and try and live our lives with the understanding of these facts and using those facts to have us engage, evaluate, and react to situations better than what an institution is doing. That's all we can do for right now. That's the best advice I have. It's not great, it's what I got. Sorry.
Alex kept messaging her on different social platforms, including ones she
Whoa, too fast. These are the last messages you all sent. Sure they are. So I'll try putting everything here. I'd rather do this as voice now, so I'll send it on Instagram to beat the account. It's like my only option for now closure.
made
Actually,
for
no,
a
I
cat.
can't believe I'm fucking doing this. There's nothing yet. Holy shit, this guy is waffling. This guy's essay. This guy's essay.
In hopes of gaining her
Holy
attention.
shit.
He even sent her a 24-minute long voice note, crying, admitting fault, and begging Alice to give him another chance.
I'd convinced myself that you were always looking for a way out. When in reality, you just wanted me to be normal. You didn't want my money. You didn't want anything from me apart from me to just be what I could be all the time. And I'm so sorry, Alice.
When that didn't work, he tried sending her a gift through Amazon with an apology message reading, "I'm deeply sorry for upsetting you and letting you down constantly. I hope one day you can forgive me and we can talk." He even tried the pre-internet technique of sending a handwritten letter to Alice, reading,
And this is classic abusive domestic abuse behavior. It is. This is a classic behavior.
Dear Alice, I'm so sorry for not fixing my
No, baby Gene, it's not. Handwritten letters are still a thing. It is, but in the context of this, yeah, I could see why you might think that way. But you're right. This is obsessive. When you take the total context, all the texts, the essaying note, the voice note, the present, yeah, we are into Walter, you got it exactly right. We are into obsession territory, which is fucking scary. Because is this obsession going to turn into him wanting to skin her and wear her as a person suit?
behavior before, and I understand this might be too late or too little. You are the love of my life, and I will never forgive myself for hurting you. During this time, Alice began posting things on Twitter and other social media platforms relating to domestic abuse and toxic relationships. Now, if someone suddenly starts making these kinds
Yes, Ace? What? What? Oh my god, what? What'd I do? Shit, what'd I do? Did I do something? TCM. TCM. Oh, I guess I'm a writer. My brain can go to all sorts of different directions. While still not actually being that dark of an individual.
kinds of posts, it's natural for people to assume they've experienced something similar. These posts
I wasn't even thinking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah.
can come across as a subtle cry for help, a way to share their struggles without openly announcing them to everyone. And since
Correct,
many of
Ace.
Alex's subscribers knew about
Although technically it was the TV show, not the movie. That's where the phrase was used. Spaghetti, I hope you brought enough for everybody. Did you bring enough for the rest of the class?
his relationship with Alice, they'd likely start asking questions. To avoid such a situation, Alex tried to talk Alice into keeping their matters hidden by saying stuff like, "We have a right to a private life," and that quote, "venting to your friends I understand, but this makes this whole situation harder for both of us," and takes it to an unneeded place. But when Alice refused to cooperate one bit, Alex changed his approach and
Ooh,
adopted
yummy,
a more
Eki.
threatening tone, saying things like, "If you keep posting this stuff, it'll end up being a huge problem." This is also where he began threatening to make up a counter story that Alice mentioned near the start of this document. Alex, "I don't want to talk about you hitting me, and I found the text about the cat." Alice, "Because I didn't, and you'd be lying." Alex, "When you said you'd punched me." Alice, "I didn't punch you over a cat. Is this you saying you're gonna use that?" Alex, "No, I'm not. But right now, you're pushing against me." Before Alex could make up any stories about what quote actually happened, Alice decided to come forward with her story and all the evidence she'd gathered over the months. Which brings us back to June 15th, when Alice made the Twitter post that started this whole controversy. As soon as the post went live, people started voicing their support for Alice, with a tweet from Wonderstruck reading, "Just finished reading through the drive. Genuinely deplorable behavior. I sincerely do apologize for the volatile behavior that was directed towards you." With another user tweeting, "I am literally shivering after seeing all this. More love and support to you. Please take care of yourself." The YouTube community is completely on Alice's side as well, to the point that there isn't a single person on YouTube who's defending Alex's actions. It's important to note that a big reason why everyone's unanimously taking Alice's side is because the evidence she's published leaves no room for doubt. There are dozens of texts of Alex calling her all kinds of horrible names, and clips of him calling her a dog and threatening to smash her head against a wall with a brick. That's some pretty deplorable stuff. And while everyone else on the internet was bashing Alex's behavior towards his ex-girlfriend, two of his friends also came forwards with statements
Alright, let's see what this is. I'm aware of the out situation. I would usually wait until both parties have said their side publicly before speaking about it, but I think the evidence here is overwhelming. I spent this morning reading what Alice has written and going over the evidence she provided, and no one should have to go through what she has. It's awful and disturbing and has seriously shocked me. I'm still processing what happened. This is one of the worst situations I have ever seen in my life, and I hope Alice is okay. Took a lot of courage to speak about this. And I think he said these are both Alex's friends. First, I really hope Alice is doing well and commend her massively for having courage to get that out there. As me mentioned, there were rumors of his behavior earlier last year. Myself and a few others haven't had contact with him since, or been his friend for even longer. With that being said, the spirited abuse that Alice published was far worse than anything I've heard being discussed. The Google Drive is fucking abhorrent, and what he put her through is inexcusable. So these are friends or at least acquaintances of Alex. That's not a good sign. When even Alex's own side is saying, yeah, he's
condemning his
shit.
actions. ImAllexx made a post on Instagram stating, "I'm aware of the Alex situation. I would usually wait until both parties have said their side publicly before speaking out, but I think the evidence here is overwhelming. I spent this morning reading what Alice has written and going over the evidence she has provided, and no one should have to go through what she has. It's awful and disturbing and has seriously shocked me. I'm still processing what's happened. This is one of the worst situations I've ever seen in my life, and I hope Alice is okay. It took a lot of courage to speak out about this." Will and E also took a similar stance and completely sided with Alice, but also made a shocking revelation. Firstly, I really hope Alice is doing well and commend her massively for having the courage to get that out there. As Mia mentioned, there were rumors of his behavior earlier last year. Myself and a few others hadn't had contact with him since or been his friend for even longer. With that being said, the severity of the abuse that Alice published was far worse than anything I'd heard being discussed.
Yeah, 6. We already talked about that several streams ago. We watched a video about In Praise of Shadows versus Wendigoon. We went over that already. We looked at that.
And what he put her through is inexcusable. In other words, people close to Alex already knew about his toxic traits, or at least had suspicions, but chose to ignore the matter until Alice came forward with her complete story. Well, not everyone. According to Will and E's ex, Mia X Mon, she and Alex were signed to the same YouTube talent agency up until last year. For those of you who don't know, a YouTube talent agency is a company who helps them find sponsors in their videos. But when she became aware of the abuse back in June of 2023, she forwarded the information to the agency. I'm aware of the abuse
so he's not going to read it all. I will. This is something I've been aware of since May last year, and is something that, in my opinion, is well known throughout the industry. I can't speak for people who aren't in our group. Damn girl, punctuation, please. Or who I don't see regularly. But the openness at which I was discussed amongst people last year, I genuinely find it hard to believe that creators close to Alex had no idea this was going on. When I found out Alex and I were signed to the same talent agency, I immediately made them aware of the accusations and put pressure on them to drop him, which they did, June 2023. From the documents in the drive, it looks like things escalate even further from what I was aware of. Emotional abuse, threats of violence, racial slurs. Again, I'm not rehashing it, but again, which is so heartbreaking. I don't know Alice personally, but send her so much love.
In June of 2023, she forwarded the information to the agency and pressured them into dropping Alex, which they did. And while most see this as a good thing, some are calling Mia's moral compass into question, with a tweet reading, "Isn't she just as bad as everyone else who knew by staying silent? I feel like we can't criticize everyone else and give her praise because she also knew about it and didn't say anything publicly."
No, fucking no. This is, I'm trying to start shit. She did do something. She let the people at the YouTube talent agency know. And so they dropped it. Maybe she did not feel comfortable publicly speaking about a relationship that was not hers. But she did take steps with the agency. So this is someone just trying to start shit. And there's always a few dozen of them when something like this pops up. There's always
but
a
as
few
someone
dozen.
else points out, it's the victim's story. What if Alice wasn't ready to share it? Ultimately, it is a very
Potentially, baby Jesus. That's another facet of it. If she started talking about it publicly, and Alice did not back up the story and say, yeah, yes, that really is a victim, then Alex absolutely could file a defamation suit. Yeah, it's a double standard. It's not double standard. Sorry, that's not the right word. It's people accuse someone that if they don't speak up, they're almost as bad as the abuser sometimes, when they don't realize it's a really complicated fucking issue with a lot of emotions at play here. That's why I said, that's why the very first thing I said is I do not blame Alice for not leaving him immediately or going to the police, because in these relationships where one party is being abused, there's emotional damage happening there where it's not that simple. And that's why I don't put any blame on Alice whatsoever, and not talking until she finally felt comfortable enough to do it. Oh yeah, baby D, this not even a sea, an ocean of gray. But these are people on Twitter. They don't see gray. They see black and white, and they're just putting shit out on Twitter because they're really brave behind the fucking keyboard. And they're nowhere near as brave when it happens to them in real life.
Situation with no clear answer. Though, in light of Alice's bravery, a couple other victims of Alex have also come forward, detailing their horrible experiences with him. The first of these is his ex-girlfriend, Jess Carter, who replied to Alice's tweet talking about how she had to endure similar treatment from Alex. She also posted a screenshot of texts one of her friends received from Alex back in 2019, which includes messages like, "I'm going to kick her head in, might kill her, might actually kill her," when talking about Jess. So from the looks of things, the threats of physical violence towards his romantic partner aren't exactly a new thing, and have been part of Alex's personality for a long time. And just like with Alice, people were quick to come forward to support Jess. At the same time, a YouTuber by the name of King Annie also came forward about her horrible experience with Alex. But instead of receiving support like Alice and Jess, she's getting immense backlash for something she did alongside Alex about 4 years ago. For context, in mid-2019, the YouTuber Slazzo's ex-girlfriend, Shay, published a tweet longer accompanied by screenshots in which she accused Slazzo of being controlling, manipulative, and sexually abusive. A few weeks later, Slazzo made a video titled My Side, where he showed the screenshots, the proof, everything. He proved that he did not abuse her, he didn't force her to do anything, and he was just an immature boyfriend. In other words, the accusations against him were completely off base and inaccurate. Despite this, some people still kept saying that.
And there it is. That's why proof matters. And here you go. Right here is the fallacy. Like, we think it only happens with the police on victims like this. The internet's like, I don't care, I'm still sticking with my friend Shay. So even though the man in the relationship who was the innocent victim, with proof, he had the receipts, you still have people saying, no, I don't care, I'm still sticking with my friend, I don't care what he says, I don't care what evidence he says. So it's not just the police. This is...
Slazzo was in the wrong, most notably King Annie. In the end, these false allegations completely ruined Slazzo's career and forced him to quit YouTube entirely soon after.
And that's fucking criminal. Because... it's never a good... No, it is a horrible thing. Even when you have evidence, people just go, I don't fucking care. I reject reality and substitute my own. That's the kind of world these people live in. They do not care about abject reality. They do not care about abject facts. It's, nope, I believe the woman because the woman says she's a victim, and that's why the hashtag that came up a while ago, believe all women, has taken a lot of fucking heat lately. Cause you remember, I think what was it, 5-7 years ago, something like that, I don't even remember, where it was the hashtag believe all women came out. It had something to do with like a deposition. I can't remember if it had anything to do with like with Trump or something. Whereas it was women were giving deposition about things that he did or something like that, or it could have been something else entirely. I'm not sure, but the hashtag believe all women came out, where it was implied that if a woman says something happened, believe it. Don't investigate, just believe it. And that's what, and now you see why it's called so much shit. I don't mean it. It could have been the Cosby case. It could have. I don't know. The Me Too, I think, came first, Potato. Me Too came first, and then it was a few years after that where a situation came about of believe all women. It could have been Robot. It's possible with, what the hell is his name? I mean, no, Lurker, he wasn't the Me Too. Me Too was something totally different. Me Too was something totally different. Believe all women, the hashtag believe all women and that whole movement came about a few years after Me Too. It was after. Shadow? No, I disagree. No one should be allowed to be a leader if they can't be criticized. I do not give a fuck if it is a man or a woman. I don't care what gender you are. If you cannot be criticized, you do not deserve to be a leader. Let's just make that clear. Snowman, yeah, it could be the Kavanaugh appointment. That could be it. And very shortly after, a lot of people started giving that shit. A lot of people started giving that little movement shit because it's like, why should you believe all women? And I think if there was a counter of listen to all women, but not necessarily believe. So in other words, do not just discount something a woman says. Listen to a woman if she says XYZ has happened to her, but don't automatically believe. Was it beginning? Okay. Whatever. It was around that time. It was around that time when this was happening. And this is what we're seeing here. J-Rocking? Okay, J-Rocks. This is what we're seeing here. Yeah, a victim of the believe all women. Yeah, exactly. And there was a lot of pushback against it, where it was like, no, don't believe all women. Listen, but don't necessarily believe. Toki, put the knife away. Put the knife away, young Toki. Put it away, right now. I will not have my chat continually stabbing themselves by accident by flipping a knife. Put it away. No. Bad Toki. Put it away. Put it away or I bonk. Put it away or I bonk. Don't make me bonk. You put it away, Toki? Go fix your hand and put the knife away for God's sake.
Now that the allegations against Alex came out, King Annie came out and blamed the entire Slazo situation on Alex as well. With a post reading, we started to realize that when there was even the smallest amount of drama, and he heard about it, he would make sure to involve himself, even if the subject had absolutely nothing to do with him, and he would just make everything so much worse. For example, the Slazo situation. Though it was never said in the original statements by Shay, he somehow came to the conclusion that it was and everyone else got the blame for saying his words. However, people are not willing to let King Annie declare a
Mail, you helped spread those Slazo allegations. Don't try to slink out of that. You heard a rumor, did zero vetting, and went with it. Take some accountability for it happening.
as a victim in the Slazo situation. With a post from Wavy Websurf reading, you helped spread those Slazo allegations. Don't try to slink out of that. You heard a rumor, did zero vetting, and went with it. Take some accountability for what happened. You co-signed that false story. Some don't even want to acknowledge her as a victim of Alex's toxic tendencies. With a tweet reading, and now they're trying to take a piece of the victim pie. Alice is the victim, not her.
And you know what? I bet these same exact stupid fucking arguments came out back during the Harvey Weinstein thing. I bet these exact, maybe sometimes even word for word. Back when the Harvey Weinstein thing happened, I bet people were saying this exact same bullshit. Not understanding the concept of finding strength in numbers when you're a victim. Okay. Put it away. But we're talking about this and Toki keeps hurting himself and not listening to advice. Very good, Toki. But yeah, it's and unfortunately, in the world of the internet, there will never be an end to this. That's the unfortunate thing. We live in the world of the internet. This is always going to happen. But I do think it's going to be in the minority. What were you right about, Lurker? The time frame? When did it happen? When did you see it happened? Was it around the same time as Me Too, or was it after? Okay. Okay, so it's yeah, so there were a couple years, so but it was tied to his criminal trial. Okay. Okay, that makes perfect sense. But there was probably like a few year gap, and basically his trial refueled it, and it just morphed into Believe All Women. Okay, makes perfect sense.
What should have been a straightforward story of a domestic abuse victim coming out to the world has turned into a web of drama which somehow involves multiple YouTubers and incidents from over 4 years ago.
Yeah,
This
Shadow,
has
Lurker
also
just
made it
looked up
quite
and he did.
difficult to predict where the situation will go from here. The biggest unknown factor in this regard, however, is Alex's response, or lack thereof. At the time of writing this video, Alex has not yet responded to Alice's allegations in any shape or form. The video of him threatening to smash his girlfriend's head is enough to sink his career on its own, not to mention the remaining videos and dozens of screenshots proving the points Alice has brought up against him. Some speculate he'll make a half-assed apology and try to play the bad mental health card, but given the severity of the situation, that'll only enrage more people. In all honesty, it'd be a miracle if he somehow managed to keep even 10% of his audience, since there's nothing he can say or do that will restore his reputation at this point, which is exactly the sort of situation Illuminati has found herself in as well. Click the video on screen to find out more.
All right. And no, I haven't heard of Bo Burnham's Welcome to the Internet, but I have a feeling it'd be a depressing watch in all honesty. Based on what I suspect it's about. Huh. Well, that video certainly got me fired up.